Lately, I have been talking to so many people who are going through the process of arranged marriage, and you know what? Majority of them are struggling. And there is one single reason for all of that, and that is parents. Yes, you heard it right. Now I know that parents are the one who lead this entire process of arranged marriage, but they are the one who actually create problem in this process. Now every parent wants good for their children, but we can't ignore the fact that there's a huge generation gap between us. Parents are doing their job what their parents used to do like 2 or 3 decades back, but that was fine back then. But now things have changed, things have transformed drastically, and we can't repeat those patterns anymore. We have to pursue this process in a different manner. Now, I'm not saying that parents are wrong, but the gap is real. Parents have one goal. They want their children to get married as soon as possible. And so to make the process faster, they go to lengths for that. Now, why? Why do our parents do that? The first and the most important point is parents link their success with their children's marriage. Parents link their happiness and peace with their children's marriage. So when they see that their friends' children are getting married, they feel this comparison and jealousy in them. They feel that they are living behind and they are stuck. Why? Because they feel that in order for them to be called as successful parents, their children should get married in the right age, at the right time. And most importantly, their children should not end up alone. Now, this is the fear that drives them. So in order to prove society that they are a successful parent, they try to marry you fast. And in that process, they forget that your marriage is more important than their comparison factor. Second, parents' definition of marriage is different. So when they were young, they were taught that at certain age, everyone has to get married. So as soon as you will turn 24, you have to get married. Why? Because that's how life works. Life is like a timeline. You have to follow each and every goal with respect to time and age. And so that's what they did. They feel that since I have turned 24, I have to get married. And now they are following this similar pattern with you. As soon as you're turning 24 and 25, now they expect you to get married. Why? Because this is how life works. This is what the right thing to do at this age. And so they feel this pressure of marrying you fast. But don't you think that things have become different now? The definition of marriage has evolved over the years. Now we want to get married because we want to love someone genuinely. We want to connect with someone. We want to help someone grow. We want to grow together and experience different emotions and experience different things in life together. That's the purpose of life. That's the purpose of marriage. But back then it wasn't like that. For them, marriage means adjustment and compromises. For them, marriage means having a companion and you have to live life together. It doesn't matter if there is love or not, you have to pursue things out of choice, out of commitment. And that's why we see our parents fight a lot. They are not very compatible at different levels. They're not very good at conflict resolution. Why? Because no one taught them those things. No one taught them the real definition of marriage. And so because of this difference in definition of marriage, they act this way. Third, they feel that being single is bad. Now, this is another fear that our parents have. They want us to get married fast because they believe that after a certain point of time, we won't find a partner. After we'll turn 30, we won't find a partner. No one will choose us. No one will marry us. And so what will happen? We'll end up alone. And so this fear drives them crazy. Because if we are 30 and unmarried, they feel that we'll end up alone. No one will choose us. And so they have this fear. And because of that, they become impatient and want us to get married fast. But think about this. Is simply marrying a wrong partner better than staying single? Not at all. Staying single is so much better than marrying someone who is not compatible with you. Because just imagine waking up every day with a partner who is not compatible with you. You don't have much to share. You don't feel comfortable expressing your insecurities to them. You're not being vulnerable around them. If there is a fight, you can't resolve that. Now, when it comes to a parents' marriage, when they got married, they never considered divorce as an option. They always felt that marriage is about compromise and adjustment. No matter if the partner is right or wrong, we have to make it work. We have to say, even if it makes us unhappy. But can you live with that? Of course, no, right? It was fine back then, but now we can't do that. We want a loving partner. We want a companionship that makes both of us happy. We want a fulfilling marriage. And so we will consider divorce as an option for sure. But would that be right? No. Would that be good? No. And so precaution is always better than cure. If we are being aware right now, if we are being ethical in this process, if we are being healthy in this process, if we are being mindful about this process, we can find a right partner. But for that, we'll have to pursue this process. We'll have to take the driver's seat. So now the question is, how can you maintain boundaries from your parents in this process of arranged marriage? Number one, take the driver's seat since the beginning. I have coached so many people when it comes to the process of arranged marriage, and there was one common factor in all of them. Their parents took the driver's seat since the beginning. They were literally sitting in the passenger seat, not feeling controlled of their own life. That's not how it works. You know who's better for you. You know who's compatible for you. Your parents can't make that choice. So you have to be in control of this process. You have to take the driver's seat and lead this process the right way, your way. Only then you can find a right partner. Because as I said, generation gap is real. If your parents is handling everything, they don't know anything about you. They think they know about you, but they don't, right? Because there is so much about us we don't share with our parents. Our friends know us on a deeper level, on a more authentic level, but our family don't. And so make sure that you are the one who is leading this process according to your needs and your values. Second, never ignore your intuition. Now, a few months back, I received a message late night on my Instagram, and there was this guy who said that I want a session right now. I'm sure it was around 12:30 at night, and usually I don't take sessions during that time because it's late and I'm tired and I can't do that. But that guy kept on texting me that I need a session right now. And so because of that urgency, I felt that okay, let's do that. So as soon as we started the call, he mentioned that he's getting married 2 days after, and he's not at all attracted to his partner. He doesn't feel that they are a compatible match. I said, but why now? He said that I had this intuition since the beginning. My gut was saying that this is not right, but I didn't have courage to break this relationship. And now when his marriage is just 2 days later, he lost it. He thought that I can't do this. And during that call, we discussed that, you know what, it is not right for you to marry that person because it's wrong for her as well. And you know what, I'm pretty sure that they both got married 2 days later. Why? Because it becomes practically impossible for so many people to do that at such short notice. And so my point about this story is that never ignore your gut feeling. Never ignore your intuition. Deep inside, you know what's right. You know what's wrong. And so when you're meeting someone, if your parents are pressuring you, if your parents are forcing you, don't just say yes simply because of their pressure. Ask yourself, do you feel in your gut what you're doing is right? Do you feel that a partner is right for you? Do you see your future together? Do you feel positive around them? Do you want to share your love and support with them? If the answer is no, don't ignore that voice inside you. You can't ignore your inner voice because of the external noise. Marriage is a long-term commitment. It's not just about few years, it's about next 50 years. So think long-term. You can't afford doubts about the other person. So make sure that you are confident about the other person. Only then you say yes. Third, don't be afraid if your parents have become impatient. Now, as I said before, your parents only have one goal. They want to marry you fast because they have this fear that if it gets too late, you won't find someone. And because of this, they don't realize that they become impatient. And because of that, they might push you into a decision which is not right for you. So many parents do that. So many parents push their kids to marry someone where the kids know that the person is not right for them. But still they do that because of their fear. So you can't be affected by their fear. So don't make their fear your fear. You have to stay composed and calm in this process. They might become impatient, they might get angry at times, but it's okay. It's about your marriage. It's about your partnership. You are the main character here, not them. So just stay focused and don't become impatient like them. Fourth, focus on healthy and happy marriage. At the end, I just want to say that this process is not very easy. I've always felt negative about arranged marriages. But with time, I realized that arranged marriage is fine. How people lead this process, that is very bad. That is very toxic. So if you're just being mindful about this process and if you're just thinking about long term, that at the end, you want to be happy with this person. You want to make sure that all your body and mind and soul is aligned for this person. You want to love them. You want to take care of them. You want to grow together. You want to experience life together. And if you're not feeling all of this in your gut, don't pursue this process. Why? Because if you will do that, you will settle for less. You might end up attracting a wrong partner. And as I said, If you're being aware, if you're being cautious, you can have a great marriage. But if you're being impatient and if you attract someone wrong, it's not easy to think about divorce. And trust me, I quote so many people regret later that I wish I could have said no sooner, because if that would have happened, I wouldn't have to consider divorce right now. So just think about long term, think from long term perspective, and make happiness your priority, because at the end we all want to be happy. If you like this video, please share this with your friends who are going through similar struggles, and so that all of us can grow together. Like this video, comment, and I'll see you next week.